We will show you the main dishes we have in Garfagnana. At first, 8 raw corn, formentone 8 file, from which we obtain the corn flour. Castagnaccio made with chestnut flour, orange peel, walnuts and rosemary, and it comes with fresh cheese, ricotta. Polenta, there are many types of polenta. Polenta di neccio con gli ossi, polenta with ragu, and mushrooms and polenta. Farro, it's a kind of cereal, usually cooked with tomatoes and onions, like a salad, or cooked as a soup. Truffles, tartufi, it's a kind of mushroom, fruit of underground, can be cooked like for pasta or eggs, and has a smell, strong smell, and it is very expensive.
Giovanni Pascoli is one of the most important poets of the Italian literature. But how many people know that he also wrote a recipe in verse? It's a risotto that was written by Pascoli in 1905 in response to a letter from his friend Alfredo Bianchi. Bianchi was a correspondent from Milan's Corriere della Sera, and Pascoli had a long correspondence with him. Pascoli wrote the recipe in response to this letter because Bianchi wrote previously a recipe for risotto alla milanese, and Pascoli added some ingredients typical of this area, the Garfagnana, so changed the recipe of Bianchi and created his own particular risotto.
Hi Michele, can you tell us something about your farm?
Of course, my name is Michele Turri, I'm 22 years old and I have been running my own farm for 3 years. In our farm we raise cattle, we grow potato, barley and corn 8 rows and various vegetables in the garden. We produce grapes and gather chestnuts, nuts, walnuts, berries and wood. We manage the dining part of farm and the activity is called Venturo. I work either as a waiter or as a farmer. Living in Garfagnana in the north of Tuscany, I have always been very conscious of the importance of land for my economy. Not only land is an important resource for the economy, but also for the quality of local food. And last but not least, it's important for the health of its inhabitants and tourists.
You raise native breeds of Garfagnana, the Garfagnana cow and Garfagnana white sheep. How and when happened that you became fond of raising this specific variety of your land?
The passion for raising cattle came from my grandfather, a former trader of cattle, who used to lead me to the livestock fairs. That's why I decided to raise native breeds of Garfagnana, which by the way, are in danger of extinction. Today I'm very proud of my activity because it's allowed the number of animals to be increased. I will keep 15-20 Garfagnana cows to assure the need for the meat in my restaurant. I also will keep a flock of 40 white sheep of Garfagnana for the purpose of producing meat and cheese. We also have pigs for sausages and meat, beans for honey, and some donkey for educational farm.
Well, thank you very much, Michele. Now I'm sure I will come to your restaurant to taste some local and safe food.
In my family, we don't go very often to buy vegetables and fruit at the supermarket, especially in summer, because my grandparents grow their vegetables in the garden. Our products are healthier than one we buy at the supermarket because we don't use pesticides. In addition, our products have another value for me because I know where they came from and the care my grandparents have in growing them. I hope that this passion will continue over the time, but I'm afraid that everything will end with our generation.
I prefer to buy local products in the counter of a supermarket, and there is a place where you can find local products, and sometimes also at supermarket, weekly supermarket stall. I don't buy products out of season because they are too expensive and they are not as good as the one you can buy in the right time. In my diet I prefer fruit and vegetable, and regard the meat we have got local producer, so our meat is genuine and healthy. I also like to making cakes at home because in the industry one are unhealthy and they have a different flavor. And also industry cakes are unhealthy because they have unhealthy ingredients like margarine, palm oil, vegetable fat and vegetable oil.
When buying food, I always check the labels to find my way between the crowded the supermarket shelves. I think it is an act of responsibility, knowing how to read and interpret the labels because they provide useful information on the product and its quality. All these information are important for our health.
Hi, my name is Chiara and this is my uncle Luca and my aunt Roberta.
Hi. Hello.
They will show you the stationary composter. How do you manage disposal of kitchen and gardens waste?
In our garden we have a stationary composter. The stationary composter is a green plastic bin with internal components that allow the aeration of organic materials that can be leaves, food waste, prunings of flowers and plants, hay, grass.
Can you explain something more about the chemical reaction inside the composter?
Of course, all the organic materials decay through a process of creation of organism that can take 6 months. But in the summer, when the activity of organism is more productive, the process is shorter. It is a good practice to mix the material, alternating the wet layers and the dry ones, in order to avoid lethal gas from the organism. That it happens when the material is too wet.
But what is the function of the composter?
The main function of the composter is to produce fertilizer, organic fertilizer, that can be used to fertilize, to produce vegetables, flowers and plants. And I can tell you that the result is really amazing. My flowers have beautiful colors, my vegetables are really tasty, and I can give my little contribution to reduce pollution, to reduce food waste, and last but not the least, I can give my little contribution to make the world a better place to live in.
Local and national government should provide financial and economic incentive to help small producers and farmers. As responsible consumers, we all could improve a state of environment we live in. For instance, we could use the separate collection to reduce pollution and buy local product to help small farmers. We all should learn how to grow vegetable and fruit to reduce the impact of greenhouse gas emission on the environment.